We had a particularly productive day over here, working a lot on music, doing some organization, following some tutorials, as well as taking a trip to the wide base research facility, which we will visit here in a moment. This is what our drop looks like and sounds like right now. If we take a look-see and a listening. A lot of things I'm proud about there. I think that all the basses really actually gel well together. I think that the little synths in the top help accentuate things. I think that the vocals is sitting in a nice place. And so yeah, in general, I'm pretty happy with that mix. Notably here, I wanted to kind of point out how hairy this looks. If you've been watching the channel at all and like catch one of the episodes where we pull up like a reference track and like look at the shape of a wave or of like a song that someone else has produced, and we look at it in the goniometer, it's also got this like very hard to find edge on the outside for this diamond. And our songs always kind of look a little fuzzy like this, and I don't know why. And I had a theory today, and I think the theory is right. My evidence is not particularly strong, but I think that the goniometer here is rendering this before it is being clipped by the stereo master right here, which the stereo out is doing. You can see like it's hitting at 3.7 decibels too high, which means it's clipping. And so my theory is that if I were to bounce this and then listen to it again through the goniometer, it would look much more defined. So I pulled up a bounce of this song in the wide base research facility, and this is what it looks like. We are starting to get a much more defined edge. So my clipping theory, I think, is correct. What is being clipped in other people's songs that's not being clipped in our song? If we take a look at Parallel here by Metrik, I pulled this up. You can see that it's just so much more defined. I'm not sure what it is that's hitting that edge out there. It's not something I'm particularly worried about. Obviously, I don't care about making this shape in my music. I care about the way the music sounds. But this was like a thing that every song I looked at was doing. So what are they doing that's making that happen? That's not making me, that I'm not making that happen. And I do think clipping, it's my leading theory out right now as to what's happening here and why this looks so full for them, where for me it doesn't. And if you look at the mix down here, you can kind of see like, is this much more of a wall than mine is. I will say in general, for a waveform, for a song of mine, I'm really proud of this. This looks nice and full and healthy, but his is much more blocky. I downloaded Parallel though for a very specific reason. I really wanted to be able to do this trick where we listen to specific sections and look at the way that the stereo information is arranged in the piece. So as this plays, you can see his bass here, kind of in 35 hertz, is very mono. It's very right up the middle. And then as we kind of get up to 60, it gets a little bit more hairy, but still generally pretty good. His kick is sitting right here in like the 80s range, but it's still pretty mono. Around 100, you start to get that ball in the middle. Hold on though, I do want to see one thing. Live theorizing as to what is causing the diamond. I want to see what it looks like just in the top end here. Okay, so just the top end is not hitting the outsides by itself there. If we pull this down and then turn this guy on and do the same, no, stop grabbing the wrong thing. Same thing here. There's this section here. Not hitting the outer edges just yet. Maybe it's some superposition stuff that happens when all of them are combined. I don't know, just to complete the tour here. As expected, the bass is just in the middle, so that doesn't answer that question. So yeah, it's got to be something about kind of all of it combined. Gives you that really nice, like, clean edges out there. And again, the clean edges don't matter. It's just, I'm just trying to understand what they're doing that I'm not doing. And you don't even have to play it that long for that to fill out like that. Where mine, you have to play like the entire time just to get that little bit of an edge there. But that was all kind of just a side tangent of why I pulled this up in the first place. I wanted to look at their bass because I was trying to understand, like, how wide should my bass be at the bottom there? Why can I not pull up the correct thing? Dyslexia, stop. If we look at mine here, all over the place, right? Look at how round my bass is. There's some moments there, but this bass is really round. That's definitely a problem that needs to be fixed. Actually, I had not seen that cleanly before I started recording this video, so I definitely know which bass needs to be fixed. It's this guy here. We've seen this guy. This guy is new. You guys haven't heard this guy before. He's a cool sound. I definitely like him a lot. He's this bass from this pre-drop section. That guy just processed a little bit with some filter sweeps and some distortion. I might change that distortion a little bit, but one thing I never done actually was look at what this instrument looked like in stereo, because I just loved the way it sounded and I didn't care. And in hindsight, I should have cared what something I liked looked like in stereo. And it's interesting to note that is not a very mono sound. How does it sound if we put the bass portion of it into mono? Make a second one of these. Let's pull this all down. What happens if you just play this in mono? It's not that bad. Okay, that's in mono. That's good. 24, 71, 176. Okay, so now these two are doing the opposite. So here's what the old one sounded like. And here's what our new one sounds like. That sounds remarkably similar, and yet the lower frequency should be now. That is significantly more mono. How does that still look like that, though? It's an improvement. I'm confused why it's not a bigger one. It's a 450. Okay. Putting it at 450 makes it a lot better. But also notably makes it less stereo. Like, really noticeably, it's not as interesting of a bass sound. How does it sound in the full mix? I don't know. I do like the way, at least in the headphones, I like the way it sounds a lot with that bass being wider, but it's also, it definitely is gonna make the low end less clean, so I don't know what to do about that. I don't know, like, if it's important to have that bass be mono there. Maybe it's not important. Maybe it's not important at all. Maybe I should just trust my ear on that one, but I'll listen to it in a few different speaker systems and see if I can really tell a difference. The other thing we made today that I was really proud of, this Dig It Down I think we made yesterday, but the whoa here, I thought that whoa sound actually works pretty well. There's just a little spot there, but it's the closest I've been able to get to making a whoa, make that whoa kind of bass sound that I really like. And all that handoff I think is pretty strong, and I'm happy with it. First time I've maybe been proud of where the basses are at. Percussion wise, we arranged a few new things. We made this high B's sound that I thought was pretty cool over here, and then had it do the same thing that our little sonar sound up there is doing, of cutting out of the way. It's obviously got some sidechain compression on it to get out of the way of the kick actually, but then as an actual effect, we have this kind of like cutout sound, so that with the percussion here, it does a fun job of going in and out. But yeah, a lot of work today. I've been sitting in this chair for a long time. I also organized my entire Logic library. Previously it looked like this. Now we've got it where we got a wavetables folder, we got a projects folder. In the projects folder we got a folder for albums, which just says boss fight, and then we got it by genre and by idea here. So proud of myself to have actually finally organized that. Previously, on every other computer I've ever had where I was producing music, it was just one folder that had basically, I would call things like idea 1, and then we, like, on one computer got down to like 400, It was just idea 400. I have to like go and try to remember which idea was which one. It was not a good system at all. So glad to be a little bit more organized here. All things in little steps on the way to being a better producer. And yeah, honestly, I feel like this is in a really good spot. I didn't play it all the way through today, but the beginning is also sounding good. Probably need to cut at least one of these repeats out here so we can have the piece be a little bit more traditionally lengthed. And yeah, anyways, we're getting progress. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys are enjoying this. See you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.